Welcome, Legends from the Painted Cave, WCOM FMLP, Carborough, Chapel Hill. In the studio today is Hiccups.
I'm back.
Back at a back.
Busy.
We're here.
No time to talk.
Where are you? Are you where you want to be today? If not, that's okay, because soon you will be there where you want to be. And where will that be?
There.
Right where you are. Wherever you are, there you are. Might as well go ahead and be okay with that. See if I got some.
Getting any monitor?
See if I got some headphone. There we go. So we were and will again be at Carborough Town Commons on Sundays, 5:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock, whenever we end up our medicine drum sound bath. And come on out and see us there. We had a few folks out there last night in the grass. We also have been having someone play some movies out there while we were drumming. We didn't interfere with each other, as far as I know. They were across the grass. But that's what we like to do. We're looking for and hoping very much for an indoors place in Carborough, Chapel Hill area that we can bring the medicine drum sound bath to through the winter. And if anybody has an idea, yoga studio or something, an open space, coffee shop.
You can contact us on Legends from the Painted Cave on Facebook, Instagram, Gmail.
legendsfromthepaintedcave.com or on the social media.
There is no legendsfromthepaintedcave.com.
There is no
Medicine Drum
that's
Soundbath.
medicineDrumSoundbath.com. Yeah, you can get some info
Legends
there.
is on Facebook, Instagram, and Gmail.
We'll be having a sound bath at about 10 after 9. So kind of keep that in mind. Get yourself kind of ready for that.
And we might have some guests today, maybe. Who knows? They just wander in.
We're just wandering and wondering around. And again at 10:40, we'll see if we can sneak a sound bath in there as well. We are recording the show, so anybody who'd like to call in, 919-246-9639, 246-9639.
But since the recording equipment is down, we will not be able to hear you on the recording.
Oh, shoot.
That's why I mentioned maybe we shouldn't ask for call-ins until we get the audio right, but we'll be close. It'll be fun.
That's right. Well, we can hear you in the studio, just won't be on the recording.
You just won't be on the repost. And you can find, I'm going to repost on the YouTube, and then I repost it from YouTube to the Facebook. So if you want to listen to our show and you don't want to tune in every day at Monday 9 a.m., then you can do that. You can still hear us.
We're still here, and you can still hear us. Can you hear us? Are you there? Do we have audio in the studio? Can you hear?
I do not hear anything off of the headset.
My headset's on. Yours would be over on the controller panel with your volumes funny. They're not working either?
I didn't get anything out of none of them. Yeah. Guess the whole switchboard's off. Or all the volumes turned down.
Well, WCOM did get a grant. Yesterday I was reading the email for new recording equipment.
For the new studio.
For the new studio. Which is just around the corner. And just about ready to open when the new equipment comes in, I reckon. Our volumes seem to be all right. So what else we got going? Let's see. This weekend, what is Coracle Regional Burn? That starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of this week, this coming weekend. That is at Shikori Hills Grassroots well, not grassroots, Shikori Hills venue in Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
where the Shikori Hills Grassroots Festival is, early May and early October, twice a year.
Medicine Drum Sound Bath at Coracle.
Yep.
Also, during that weekend, there's the Mantra Bash that we didn't make it to. That's going to be tons
So
of
that's, they've had 2 or 3 of those,
Mhm.
I think, over the past years.
fun. And also,
400 people.
yeah, just really small. And then we also we were talking about going to hear the guy talk about aliens. The same weekend, this next weekend.
Yeah, Bledsoe.
Let's
Tom Bledsoe, something like that. He's a longtime UFO, not researcher, but experiencer. What is his first name? His last name's Bledsoe. His book is UFOs of the Gods, I believe, or something very close to that. But he's supposed to at least orbs show up most of the time, just like many of them floating around out here in the atmosphere. So he seems to be able to call them at will, the aliens. And he will be in Sanford. You'll have to...
We're going to have to Google it.
Well,
We might make it.
I looked on his website and doesn't seem to have I couldn't find where his Saturday appearance in Sanford is or time, but Robert over at Oasis Botanical Lounge in Carborough, you can get a hold of him,
Hey, Rob.
and he has all the information on that if you want to go out to a potentially supernatural experience. In Sanford.
I'll swing by there after here and see if he's got something set out for us.
There you go.
To
There
read
you go.
and take a picture or such.
We were over there for almost a year with the Medicine Drum Sound Bath, but we've recently are seeking other places to play through the winter. So again, if you know of any place we might be able to do that. There is this coffee shop, Lonza's, I believe, which is in Carborough. I was in there this morning, and they got a kind of a big area. Let's see if I can talk to the owners there, if they might be interested to host us over the winter. Yeah. What else is going on in planet Earth? You're on planet Earth.
Thank you
You've
for
got
joy, want to thank you for pain.
Earthling. Just another Earthling. Oh, my friend sent me that. She said, if we could, so, there's suffering, but if we can make our suffering useful or turn our suffering into joy, that might be quite helpful to not only help ourselves, but, to show that there is a way through suffering that can be profitable and useful. And that sounds pretty good, because we do suffer. And unfortunately, that is a prerequisite of having a body.
That's what the Buddhist is, the suffering.
Let's see, what's their...
Life is suffering.
The Four Noble Truths.
Mm-hmm.
Life is suffering. All life is suffering. There's a cause of suffering, and there's a way out of suffering. That's what Buddha, back in the day, came up with his rendition. The Hindus, for what I understand, their religion or their way of thinking is life is suffering, and wherever we're born into, whatever family or caste system, that's it. That's where you're at. There's no changing your life and your station in life. But then
Why
Buddha
try?
comes along.
Why try?
Yeah, why try? In fact, you can't try. Even if you try, we'll ostracize you, so don't try. But Buddha came along and said, no. You can, there's a cause of suffering and there's a way out of suffering. And that was his donation, or his way to raise ourselves out of suffering. And the way to do that is to follow the Eightfold Path And the Eightfold Path is 8 ways of reducing suffering and moving out of suffering in this lifetime. But it basically boils down to right thinking and right acting, basically. So how do we think right? Well, one way is to say, well, there is a way out of suffering. That's kind of the first step in saying, oh, poor me, I'll always suffer, and there's no way for me to get out of suffering. It's just my life, and my daddy did it, and his daddy did it. We all suffer. Say, no, there actually is. I can beat this. I can move myself out of suffering this life, becoming a victim of life, or becoming a victor of life, and saying, if I change my thoughts, that will change my actions and my behaviors, and then I'll develop habits, and my suffering can, step by step, turn into joy and be a useful thing instead of an anchor and a cannonball dragging me down. So that's the Buddhist idea, which seems to be kind of popular. No God above, no gods below. It's just like your life is in your hands.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what I was dealing with, and I would say the way out is to reevaluate your whys and why nots. You're probably living on some old excuses. Why, I can't be happy because of this. I can't be happy because of that.
I don't have any money. I don't have a
money.
girlfriend.
I need to be happy. You don't need. You can be happy without things. It don't have to all be in order for you to be happy. It don't have to be right for you to be happy. You just got to be happy. And that forced happiness that comes with our society.
Who's going to decide that for me?
You can be sad if you want to, but it's up to you. You want to do that.
I need.
That's your manifestation of your life. You just want to be sad. And until you figure out what you really want and start manifesting in the way to make it happen, then you're going to get what you want. And a lot of people want to be sad, it seems. A lot of people want to have that trouble and trauma in their life and issues that they keep secret and
chaos.
They want it.
My spin on that is you say reevaluate the what do's and don'ts.
Whys and why not.
Whys and why not. My way to twist on that is evaluate your likes and dislikes.
Yeah,
it's basically the same thing.
Like what's getting in your way, it probably really isn't in your way. You've just been saying it's in your way since you were 16. So, time to change that. Quit saying you can't. Like Yoda. I always go back to Yoda. He says,
no try, do.
Yeah. There is no try. You either do it or you don't.
That's kind of what's happening, actually. But what do I like? Gosh, lots of things.
Pizza.
But do I have that? That's the stumbling block. Well, I don't have it in my hands, so I guess I'm never going to have it.
Or just tell yourself you don't even need it, and then it'll come to you.
That's kind of the law of attraction?
Yeah, if something like that. Like if you're looking for a girlfriend, go walk around and be self-sufficient, and you'll get one real quick. When you act like you don't care and you don't want one, that's when they'll tag on to you because you're strong now.
Yeah, that confidence thing goes a long way.
They'll be in your pocket real quick.
I have a couple friends that they, when they're talking to girls, they'll say, "No, you don't. No, you aren't." And they'll be kind of like real contrary.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll kind of spark a debate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of their hook line to get the woman engaged. It's like, you're just faking it. Like, and then they'll stand up, to defend. And it's the way to engage.
You're wrong.
Contrary, yeah.
No, I'm not. Okay, I believe you. But now we're talking. What was going on? Oh, dreams. I've had a lot of colorful dreams lately, like very easily to see.
That just kind of started recently,
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't when I was younger. It used to be a lot, and then it was like it slowly fizzled out. Where maybe I was having them, just didn't bring them back. Didn't think about them when I woke up.
Well, cannabis is really good for a dream suppressor as well.
Maybe.
I've heard a lot of friends that once they stopped using that, their dreams came back, and a couple of people I've met said that's why I use that, because my dreams are just way too crazy.
They were getting to the point where it's like they couldn't evaluate the difference.
Well, they just linger on into the day and make their head foggy, and dreams can be sometimes.
I have not found much transferable from dream to reality. I feel like it's like just residual thoughts, residual sparks going off. I don't know how they explain it, and then you just deal with a whole bunch of stuff, weird stuff. You're talking to somebody, and then now you're inside, now you're outside. It's all a bunch of mixed up stuff.
Yeah.
Like I haven't found anything in there that's actually usable out here. But other people might tell you different. They might tell you that it's lessons you're learning.
I do sometimes. It's more like insight into a particular behavior I've had, or an opinion that I've held for a long time, and I'll have a dream that puts me into a different situation with people. And I go, wow, I really acted like a jerk. And kind of like that. And it helps me reevaluate a situation I've been in the past. But that's just maybe because I'm more looking to improve my character in my daily life, and just being more observant to not be such a bully as can happen.
Yeah, being a bully. If you want what you want, then that's what you look like. If you take care of yourself first, now you're a narcissist. And it's like that's what you're supposed to. You got to take care of yourself first. Do for you, so you're available to do for others. And they're seeing you at that first surface level, and now you're bad. You're a bully, or you're a narcissist, or you're.
Yeah.
But really, you're just trying to take care of you, so you're more available to help others.
Yeah, got to learn how to say no.
Empathy is a dangerous game to play. You can't care for everything, or you're just gonna be overwhelmed and not be able to do the stuff you need to do.
Caregiver burnout.
Yes. Too much sad sitting make you sad.
Started out with a mission. Well, let's move into a sound bath since it's about that time.
Yes.
What do you think? Is that
Sounds
cool,
good.
Hiccups?
Give us a good little prayer to start it out.
Well, gratitude is always my favorite go-to. Just grateful we can be here in the studio with you all, that we can provide this just little time to be grateful for the many things. We thank you for we're always being guided and protected, whether we're really aware of that or not. That we have blessings, we have people in our lives that care about us. We're grateful for that. We thank you for this great weather. Moving on into still being warm. Grateful for that. Grateful that we can get some rest and some sleep at night. Grateful for our friends, that we can be here for each other. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Just here, resting, receiving, allowing. Floating downstream. gift for me. have a gift for me. Medicine Drum Sound Bath, welcome back. We are available for your parties and festivities, celebration of life gatherings, celebration of death gatherings, funerals, weddings, graduations. We'll come out and bring this meditation to you, even just for a curiosity or novelty. It's just something different to have around at, your gathering.
You just want to meet us and see what we look like.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I'm sorry. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to apologize. I sort of tranced out there in the meditation, and a guy walked by, and his shirt was sort of similar to a tattoo I had. I was about to jump up and go say hey to a complete stranger in the middle of the meditation.
Yeah, you jumped out of your chair, and I was like, what happened? Did I miss something?
I forgot what I was even doing. I was just in it.
Yeah.
And then I just saw him out the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to go talk to him. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm doing something.
Wait, I'm doing something. I mean, you could have.
I love talking to strangers. Any excuse.
Strangers. Never met a stranger who wasn't a friend.
It only takes a minute, and then they're not a stranger anymore.
It's been a while. I wanted to ask,
No, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, because we've been friends for a while, and the medicine drum I've been playing for quite a few years. But when I started 12 years ago, and we met shortly thereafter, you weren't really interested that much. It was a curiosity. But then here recently, you're like, now wait a minute. There's something more to this.
Yeah, we went through this.
Yeah, tell us about that, your journey.
You played for me a couple times, and then there was that one time you had it set up at Grassroots, and I wasn't sleeping. It was like every time I would lay down, Hugs would come to get a beer or bring someone over to the tent, chatting with them, and I'd wake up again.
At the festival.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's been 3 days, and I haven't slept. It's like... And then I went over there, and I broke into tears. I was like, I just need some rest. You're like, well, lay down. That's what this is for. And I was like, okay. And that went really well. It was like I got a couple hours of sleep in 10 minutes. It was like rejuvenated. And then I was like, what are you doing going to these shows? I'm like, I want to go to a show. And we went to Soul Harmony. And that's where I saw it take effect on people, and I was like, there's something more to it. The guy that did the reflexology stuff said he was able to stand all day just by sitting down for 10 minutes and letting us drum over him. His lower back didn't hurt all day.
He had a knee thing, too, I think. Mm-hmm. That felt a whole lot better.
Felt better. It made him feel better. And it was like 10 minutes out of his life, and it made his whole day better.
Well, I think his wife came in, and
First.
She was greatly affected and said, this vibration and this rhythm just made my body and my mind. He says, I got to go get my husband.
And then I saw it reached a lot of the ladies out there. You remember the girl with the bow and arrow and Olena? Mm-hmm. It really touched them. I saw that their emotion come out during it.
Emotionally.
Mm-hmm. And the shaking and the emotion coming out from it. And I'm like, there's more to this. And while I was there, I was picking up the practice of doing the body scan, reading, and drumming over the parts of their body that I thought hurt. Mm-hmm. Like the driving hip, or the bigger guys with all the weight on their shoulders, and the ladies with the full-chested ladies, their backs always from carrying all that extra weight.
Yeah.
And I saw all that, and that's the sections I went for on people. Stuff that I knew people of your body type would need.
That's interesting, too, because you might have been doing that subconsciously in your ordinary life, but suddenly...
Yeah.
It kind of came aware, like, there's something to this, and it's like, I see their foot's kind of leaned out, and the other one's straight up. That might be a hip thing.
And at first I was like, just playing around, like, look, I'm magic. And then it was like, they really came back and said, how did you know? How did you know that I was sore on that shoulder? Yeah. That was the first thing you went to.
Yeah.
And it felt great. And I was like,
Because we bring the drum close to the person that's sitting or laying down, and the vibration.
And and to the normal person, it's like you can hear my pains, and that's what I was saying. Is like I can hear your body talking, saying, "Drum me, drum on me," and no, it's just me just doing the body scan, reading your posture. I would say what I call it, feigning. I think that's the word that they said. Like you would feign toward the injury, or feign. Like I say with like the driving hip, you always see their right foot is cocked out just a little bit to take that pressure off the hip while they lay down. And I would go to that driving hip because that mine does that. I cross my legs all the time for the same reason. Just takes that little bit of pressure off that hip. But that's where I got bought and sold on the drum stuff. Was there. It started out with it helped me a little bit, and then I was like, let me see what this is like out on the road, Let me see what it's like at an event.
Well, not only that, but maybe, I'm guessing now, but I've been at Chicory for a while, year after year after year, and more and more people are coming out and laying down, and you probably you might have wondered, like, what's everybody going over there for to lay down to this drum?
Yeah.
Or sit.
Yeah, you have to try it to realize how beneficial it is. You got to be there and see what it. Hang out with us at a festival and see how many people walk away saying that it changed them or it felt great. And that's when, you can't do it from a distance and be like, oh, this is what it is, or that's what it is. You got to get in it. You need to drum. You need to lay down and let someone drum for you, and then a little bit in after that, you're gonna be like, there's a little more, all we are is vibration, and all we are, you'll run away like, oh, God's in the drum.
How did you know?
How did you know? Y'all are psychic. Yeah, it's so good. And that's what got, and then you already had the radio show, and you kept asking me to be on it, and I called a couple times. It's like, I do this with everything. Like, I gotta let you go ahead and get sort of numb to it and bored, but I don't want to come in at the beginning and be like, look, this is ours. This is yours. It's all yours. But now it's mine because you're like, it's every day now for you. It's not like, you're not at the beginning. You're already accomplished in it. So now I can come and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Well, new blood is very important.
Yes.
New people, fresh faces, new experiences. Crucial.
Yeah, that's how I got here. Just like that.
Just like that?
So, I was gonna go ahead and get back off, how it works. So during the meditation, I was remembering, I guess it was this past week or so, Louis sent me a text, and I was like, are you coming this weekend to Carthage or over there for all the stuff?
Carborough,
there was
Park.
First Friday music. We were going to try to do that drum weekend at your place.
Oh, last
there
weekend.
There was also the lid ripping chicken benefit, and then John was going to have his birthday party. It was going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is a good weekend. Y'all all come in town. There's stuff to do. We ain't just going to have to sit out there and look at each other the whole time. And he was like, I'm thinking about it. And I said, don't think, feel. I said, and he was like, oh, what do you, I was sort of like, what do you mean? And I was like, and I said the thing that I've been coining the phrase, if you learn to think with your heart, you can find love in your mind. So it's what I'm saying is quit thinking about stuff. Feel it. Like if you don't feel like it's right, don't do it. Don't sit here and weigh the options and say, oh, maybe not. If it don't feel right, then it's not for you. Only do stuff that feels right. And I know that's probably, if people put that to the fullest, no one's going to work anymore.
Yeah.
I'm tired of feeding kids. I'm just going to quit buying groceries. No. But yeah, just fill it out. Like, quit thinking about it so much. Like, it's there. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong, and it's always been that. And it's all up to you what you want, what you don't want. Quit thinking about it. Like, there's nothing to think about. You're either coming to this weekend or you don't feel like it, and that's fine either way.
Well, there's a middle ground.
There's always a middle ground.
The middle ground is, well, that's a week off, and that sounds good, but I just can't say I'm in or not right now. So I'm just going to kind of see how it goes, because I have options.
And then that same thing came up. Trey mentioned it at the lip rip and chicken thing, and then I sort of tried to explain my philosophy behind it. And then when we got back to hugs for dinner, that was like one of the first things he brought up. He started talking about feelings and thinking and emotion compared to thought. And,
differences.
And then Tammy, Hugs came up and gave her side of it. And I was like, yeah, it's like, like that's it. It's not really about what you think about it, it's what you feel.
Well, let's talk about politics.
Thinking and feeling is two different things.
I feel very strongly
About politics. I really like politics. It's so great.
Is it something I think about or something I feel about?
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about my opinions. Let's talk about that.
Yes. But let's not. Hey, that's tomorrow. Get your vote in tomorrow, or it's your last chance. Last chance to see what your next 4 years is going to look like.
Your vote matters.
It didn't used to, but it seems like it does now.
It seems like it does now.
I guess both sides are on so different levels. One's going this way and one's going that way, that it does really matter now. It used to be like there's not much change between who you
Not
vote.
much different.
Yeah, not much different. They're both going to do the same stuff.
Still the same party.
Yeah.
Just someone else's.
Still the same party. You pick which one you want to go to. Yes. It got heavy, man. But yeah, go out and vote, guys.
Or don't. Your choice.
Or don't, and then you don't got nothing to complain about anymore. Someone else's fault.
Ooh, that's a favorite.
It
Not my fault.
ain't my fault. I didn't even vote.
Y'all did this to me.
Y'all did it.
Yeah, so that's the medicine drum experience. I met a guy in a coffee shop this morning. I ordered my coffee, and then I went out to the car because I left my money in the glove box, but I couldn't get my glove box open.
Oh, I saw you doing that.
So I had my machete out finally and pried
Breaking
open.
into your own glove box.
Breaking and entering. And so I came back in, and he felt with my phone. I have that pay thing on the phone, and he thought it was important for him to say, "Hey, well, you're supposed to pay, when you order." And I'm like, "Who are you again, sir?" But I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I was being polite.
What do you mean?
And I said, "Yeah, okay, yeah." So I paid. I thought, I think I'm going to go over here and give him my card and see if he wants to talk a little bit. And sure enough, 45 minutes. He was talking about for a year now, he's a neuroscientist for his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's feeling like he's getting older and he needs a change. He's always been kind of an introvert and married and stayed to himself, but he's feeling like he wants to not be so closed off. Mm-hmm. So it's in the last year, he's investigating not spirituality, but opening up to there's something bigger than just science.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else going on, synchronicities and unusual coincidences.
But he's going to have to
and he's looking into that a little bit.
He's going to have to reprogram his whole analytical
and he's
sight.
said he's slowly developing a formula, a theory, a way of moving out of the box and compartmentalizing, and that's one way. He said he's doing this by
he's overthinking it.
by a word. he'll just think of a word and come back to that word and come back to that word and see how he feels about that, the connotation and the feeling and what memories it brings up, and just
That's
keep with the word.
That's like shadow work.
It's like free association, sort of.
You would bring up a trauma just to go ahead and get comfortable with dealing with it before it.
It's the reoccurrence of it brings up a different sort of experience, and it's similar to stuff that we're
Father.
familiar with as well. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool.
Mother.
Help, charity, truth,
I'm still a child.
angry, and just kind of, he would, what do you say, saute or would stew.
That's
kind
a
of.
weird one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meditate on soup. Soup, carrots, celery.
So the fact that I sat down, he says, it's kind of a coincidence that we'd be talking about this, because this is kind of, I've wrote, let's see, what do you say? I've wrote 30,000 words in 1 month. So he's doing a lot of writing. He's goes to the coffee shop regular just to meet people and do his life a little differently. And we like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's kind
cool.
of what the medicine drum is all about, to
That's the
expose a
start.
person to processes that are happening underneath the surface of ordinary consciousness and reality. Like a dream, or like a daydream, for instance.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. The drum got me into all that other stuff. I mean, I was already on the path. That was like a good catalyst. Like, now I'm out here doing drum stuff. Now I'm able to go vend. Now I'm able to sell crystals.
But your first contact that you really thought this might be something was you got into a deep, relaxed experience.
Yeah, I got
Quickly.
I got rest out of a 10-minute lay down or 15 minutes on my back. Felt like hours.
Sure, just getting laid down is can be restful, but it's as the steady rhythm.
And that's what a lot of structured professional people say when they lay down. They're like, I didn't really see any visions. I didn't really go anywhere, but I actually laid down and rested for 10 minutes. And I never get to do that. Even though we're at this 4-day music festival, you got all the time you want to do anything you want.
Yeah.
And they're like, I haven't even laid down like that in years. Haven't even just took time for myself like that in years. It's like, well, yeah, make time. If you don't make it, you ain't gonna have it.
And on top of the steady rhythm, which quiets the mind anyway, the two together.
How you said, the theta, beta,
Alpha, theta, delta.
yeah, the wavelengths.
Well, we're all familiar with flow state or in the zone. That's probably the most very understandable and common term, in the zone.
Well,
That place where the whole world falls away and you're just in the moment.
What am I getting ready to stumble on? Setting intentions. Saying that this time is for that. Like I do with the crystal. I got crystals, and I say, like I was saying, I program the crystals. I say love, and I think love while I hold it, and then sit it down, and it holds that. So now every time I pick it up, I'm thinking love, and it's saying love back, because that's what I told it its purpose was. It's for love. When I hold it, I feel love. It's symbolic. It's I'm setting my intentions to say that it's that, and then in reverse, now every time I look at it, it says it back to me. The same way, like we're saying, you set your intention to sit down and be comfortable and be silent and not be bombarded by thoughts, and try to do that for a minute. Try to just be calm. Try to just actually have a thought that's yours. Just try. And that's a lot of people can't try. They're so programmed, so society's so rigid, and everything's so important, and you ain't got time for you. There's no time for you to have abstract. Or it's and it gives you a chance to do that. Gives you a chance to dive into the abstract.
What does?
The drum.
Oh,
Any kind of meditation gives you a chance to just quiet the mind and see what you're really saying in there, instead of just listening to the chatter. You gotta get up, gotta take a shower, gotta brush your teeth, gotta go to work, gotta do this, gotta have that paperwork in by 2:30 today. Gotta go pick the kids up from school. Gotta get the kids home. Gotta get the kids into get them fed. Gotta get them into their costumes. Take them to their sports. Take them to the thing. Come back from that. Turn the TV on for a minute.
Survival.
Eat dinner again.
Food.
It's just a lot. It's a lot. And
A
just
lot to
taking that
survival.
10-15 minutes to lay down can change your life. Especially if you haven't done it. If you've never took 15 minutes for yourself just to clear your head.
The guy who brought the drum from South America to America and started drumming for people to help them relax. He said he realized quickly that this was a shortcut into deep meditative states. You don't have to sit. You don't have to sit right. You don't have to have a certain posture. You just lay down or sit down, and the drum rhythm, in many cases, will set a person's nervous system to relax, because just the rhythm. We're rhythm machines, right?
So normally, thoughts keep popping up.
Right.
But that boom gets you back to thinking drum. So as soon as you start to have a thought, you hear boom, and you go back to not thinking.
Yep.
It slows you down a little bit.
Very simple.
And like Dispenza's saying, when you slow your body down like that, it can start healing itself. It goes into that healing pattern.
Sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
Your body heals, and your mind gets a chance to quit shooting them sparks for a minute, and it just gets set on boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's the future. It's the future. It just ain't.
We understand that relaxing is an important part.
It's the past that's going to become our future,
And back to the past.
We're so learning, like with the particle physics, they're learning that everything's the vibration and everything's humming at its own frequency, and like the 432, the tuning forks and the singing bowls and the drums get you back into your rhythm.
Rhythm machines. Music is rhythm, right? It's not like it's offbeat. It's like
the
it's
insect brain.
a consistent.
You get back into the insect brain.
Crickets.
Yeah, like crickets. Your circadian rhythm.
Your circadian rhythm. Oh, good one. Nice.
Your insect brain. Oh man.
What I like.
What do you like?
What I don't like.
I like what I don't like.
Is there a problem with that?
It would build character real quick if you just did stuff you didn't like, just to, sort of like a punishment or a trial. I'm just going to do everything I don't want to do for a week and see what happens. I would
Crash and burn.
Back to Joe. That's what he says. He's like, if you can just take, he calls it a week, because that's how long his retreat is. Take about a week and do nothing that you normally do. And while you're doing nothing that you normally do, meditate on the thought of healing. And that's it. Just take about a week away from your phone, away from your responsibilities.
I would have to go somewhere
That's
and pay for something in order to do that.
Well, that's
'Cause
what
I wouldn't do it on my own.
He'll sell it to you. He'll sell it to you too. But it's as simple as that, is the way he's saying it.
Well, that's what going to a retreat is, kind of.
But everything's structured. All these jobs, if you took a week off, you'd be fired. There's not too many people who can take a whole week away.
And it's not a party. It's an intentional
And if you have
sort of
kids, you
program.
can't take a week off from kids. Can't
Who's
take
got
a
the
week off
money
from the
for that?
job.
I never
If you
did.
got animals at the house, you can't take a week off from your animals. So
No
it's
way.
so it's like,
Oh, they just walked by.
oh, they're
Look,
here.
look at those hippie folk.
They're
Turns
here, but
out
they're
to
not
be
here?
them, yeah.
Well,
Bagel and Transformer. No.
I think they know the door code.
Yeah. Yeah, man. When I was raising kids and had a little animal farm and garden, it's like a week. Try about 2 hours.
That's all you could get.
Oh, I couldn't get that.
Well, most people, like, their only time is in the bathroom.
Or sleeping.
In the bathrooms, their only alone time where they don't have a kid asking for this or that, or having to clean up, or
Good luck with that.
or having to be at work, or having to. And then they get there and they take the phone with them, so it's like now people can just reach you while you're even in there, and now you got to rush and get out of there, and go do something else.
What does God have to do with this anyway? I gotta feed these kids and put shoes on their feet.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. It's like you get stuck in the program to the point where you're too busy for your mind to settle into that healing. What do you say? Paraempathetic,
Sympathetic.
sympathetic
Para.
state. And that's what happens when you sleep. But that's not enough. It's not enough just to disconnect at night. You need to be more conscious and put more effort into it and do. That's just, you don't have to do anything.
You're telling me what to do, boy.
Don't take my word for it. Read it yourself.
Read it yourself. It's someone else's hearsay. No, it's a good guide, though. I mean, come on. What else do we have to go with? Go for it.
Everybody needs to just take it easier. Just take it easy, man.
You don't understand. I got a mortgage.
I know, right? I know. Kids need shoes. That's what I always say. You can believe the world's flat. You can believe in this. You can believe in that. But at the end of the day, kids still need shoes, and you got to put food in their mouth. Don't matter how spiritual you get, you're still gonna have to take care of your own and others, and ones that ain't your own. You got to take care of them too.
But take a break.
Take
some time, but take some time off.
Take some time off for yourself, but still be there and available for everyone around you.
24/7.
24 hours a day.
Yeah. And if you can do that, call me. Tell me how you do that. I'd sure like to know your formula.
Luckily, everybody knows in your same time zone, so they don't call you at like 3 a.m. They just woke up and want to tell you about how their day went.
So I have this book.
You do have a book.
It's called Medicine Cards. And this is about animals and
Archetypes.
explains their nature and how their nature relates to our nature. Like a bird or a big cat or a dog or a horse. And
Of course.
you can pull pull a card, or just open the book and, see how that relates to your life at the moment. One I really like, I'll just read you a short paragraph right at the start, is crow medicine. There is a medicine story that tells of crow's fascination with her own shadow. She kept looking at it, scratching at it, pecking at it, and her shadow woke up and became alive. Then Crow's shadow ate her. Crow is dead crow now. So, of course, this is a metaphysical sort of, metaphorical sort of example. So, of course, there's more to that. It goes on for a couple of pages. But I really like that beginning because it kind of gets me thinking. It gets me, what's my life about? What does shadow mean? What does death mean? What is this transforming thing about life? What's that all about?
What's that all about?
Well, it's curiosity, for one thing, because the crow is curious.
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing following me when the sun's up? Peck, peck, peck. And, we're curious creatures, and we do love a puzzle.
You know what I say? What's a metaphor? Herding sheep.
What's a metaphor?
It's for herding sheep. That's what a meta is for.
That's what it's for. Fortified.
Metaphor. Metaphysical thought. Metaphysical something.
Something meta, something other than.
Yeah, meta is other, right?
Yeah. Or beside or along with, but not the actual article.
Alternate.
It's referring to, sort of. Medicine Cards, a book about animals and how we're so much like animals. I'm not an animal.
It reminds me sort of like children's books, you know? Like, this is the crow. He talks a lot. You know?
The pig goes oink oink.
The pig goes oink oink.
The pig is in the mud.
Pigs are so dirty. They like to play in the mud.
Birds are clean because they're always picking on their feathers. A chicken in every pot. Legends from the Painted Cave.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and you can send us an email at Gmail, legendsfromthepaintedcave@gmail. Invite us over for events. We're going to play some drums for you. I might not be there, but we got a group of people that play drums. Group's getting big.
I have drums for sale.
Drums for sale.
That I have different kinds, different sizes.
If you have a bigger, like a big event, maybe 200-300 people, and you would like for me to come vend, I can come sell my pine cone art.
And you can view them at
Spirit Finds at Instagram.
Spirit Finds on Instagram.
And also Spirit Finds at Gmail. If you can't find the Instagram, send me an email and I'll contact you.
Very uniquely crafted, what
Knob
would you call it?
cone.
Organic or natural art?
Yeah, it's
nature art.
It's wood. Knob cone, pine cone pendants, and spiritual accessories. I did that this year.
Oh, yes.
My shop grew to selling loose crystals and spiritual items.
Singing bowls, little singing bowls.
I'm trying to have the singing bowls. The new thing that sold really well, alchemy bags. It's like a fake leather pouch with little bottles on the side for young wizards.
For you young wizards.
For the young wizards out there, I got your bag.
Potion.
You can put your spell book in there and your cigarettes or whatever. And also I had some hemp bags that sold really well.
Like backpack sort of things?
It's like one of them little mini backpacks, and then like the fanny pack I carry all through the festival. I was telling myself, I'm like, I wear these at every festival. I had one break. I went out and got one like the next day.
What, like a fanny pack?
It's a fanny pack, but I wear it over my shoulder to be more masculine, I guess. Instead of, the around your waist looks funny too, and it don't hold up. It could slip down and loosen up, but around your shoulder you got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use it everywhere, and I use it vending for money. I use it out when I'm walking around for keeping, like I said, cigarettes and lighters and stickers and all the stuff you collect at the festival, stuff people hand out, samples from different vendors. Just stuff it in there, and I have everything right there in my little pouch. I don't even use my pockets. I normally wear swimming trunks, so I don't have to mess up my clothes. Or I'm getting into wearing sarongs now. I take my tapestry and wear it as a pair of pants instead of putting on clothes.
Not in your ordinary walking around life.
No, I don't do anything like that in my real life. I look very conservative. I hide my hair in my hat, but then I get out there and I let loose.
WCOM FM LP, Carborough, Chapel Hill.
Yeah, I sold them hemp bags. Those went really well. The alchemy bags. I'm working on having them Vogel cut crystals available for meditations.
Vogel cut?
The Vogel cut is cut to specs for you to do like channeling, energy transference. For where like the people do the Reiki and stuff, they'll hold the crystal in their hand and be able to focus their cleansing energy through your body, or
I got a question.
or transmute bad energy out of your body.
Do you have some certain type of thought or intention while you're doing that sort of crystal work?
Like I was saying, that's what most of it is.
Come on in, guys.
Just setting your intention and saying this is what this is for, and then now it is, you know.
But do you have some sort of thought process going on?
Just quiet.
Yeah.
You try to keep your mind to keep extra thoughts out.
And that's similar to drumming as well.
Yes. Yeah, you just gotta get it all quiet, and then you just focus on that one concept. You know, like I said, normally my crystal practice has been love, and holding it, and you would whisper into it, and hold it near your heart and say love.
Sounds like a reminder.
Yeah.
As well.
In the long run, or on the the low wavelength of thought, it's just a reminder. Yeah, it's just I'm saying it's for that, so it's for that.
Could be a stone, could be anything, a piece of bark.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Could be anything. Feather, a pebble, a trinket.
Memory stone.
We got guests.
There we go.
Hello.
That should be on.
Hi.
Put that headset.
We have in the studio Jamin Bagel,
Howdy.
a local and regular, and Creature. Also
Yeah,
today. Glad you could be here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So tell us about yourselves.
Creature, you go first. I haven't
Together
really
or
sure.
apart or
Well, my name is
afterlife,
Creature.
before life?
I've been wandering this planet for about 26 years. I'm
27.
now almost 27 now,
She wasn't walking the first year.
Still wandering.
Still wandering, just not walking.
Walker.
Shush. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a fire performer for the past 5 years. Bit of a traveler,
A wanderer.
hard lover.
Traveler?
Yeah.
I guess that goes with the wandering part.
Yeah. I've been all across the United States to a couple of different countries. Got to meet a lot of really cool people. Opened my heart to a lot of really cool experiences. It's been fun. What about you?
What about you?
What about you? Okay, enough about me.
Jamin Bagel.
We'll get back to you about that.
Y'all know me for you who listen to the show. I hosted it for a time while Grandpa was out of the country, and Fire Spinner started in California. Oh, he's finally ripping off the Thrift Books tag.
I just saw it.
15 years later.
Yeah. that was a moment. I felt that. I felt that one. Me and Grandpa met at Shikori. Same with, I think I met you at Shikori too.
Mhm.
With Grandpa.
About a year and a half ago.
Medicine drum brought us all together. Internal drum manifested the external drum. Our hearts beating.
Why? But why do you spin fire? Why are you throwing fire around in the air?
I
mean, it's not a real ordinary thing
it's
to
a good
do.
question. So your mom
Trying to
said,
harness the
don't
sun?
play with fire, right? But in reality, rules are made to be broken, and
Safety third.
safety third.
Ooh,
third
I like
to
that.
experience and
Third watch.
Third to, what is safety? Third to experience and
It's to
fun,
Yeah, experience and fun
something like that.
and safety
But
third. Or
Fire.
excitement, I think, rather than fun. Because some things are exciting but not necessarily fun, but still worth doing.
yes, 100%. And I think it's the meaning of that in my heart is to pursue feeling, right? I wasn't feeling very much whenever I first came to Firespin. Man, this guy's just going crazy back here.
So I got out my lighter and started burning myself and thought, wow.
This
will be great.
I feel something.
I feel something.
No,
Yeah.
So I was DJing at
And
the
so you're
time.
throwing your lighter in the air. Oh my God, put a string on it.
I was DJing at the time because I wanted to learn how to like produce my own music and stuff, and was playing at the beach on this little dinky DJ board set, and saw fire spinners for my first time, and I got obsessed with it.
In Southern
And,
California.
Yeah, burnt myself right away. Like the first day that I saw Firefly, I was like, let me spin them. Burnt the hell out of myself.
Did you ever? You never did the regular ones?
No, I just
Went straight
jumped
into,
right into it.
Let's light it on fire.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I
then-
did with my fans.
Yeah. From there, it became this place of union, the ineffable moment, but not relative truth, absolute. Like it was a very infinite space for me, and I had never really had that intimate space for myself or community. And the fire spinning community was like just this huge network of people that were like family, and obviously like there's in any community a good split between the two, and I really realized quickly that there was a red and blue team. The red team was really egotistically driven and vain towards it being a performance and a show, and then like
I'm going to get rich and famous. Watch
others
me.
were more inclined to like
Float.
tap into that ineffable moment that I was describing.
Yeah.
It attracted the living hell out of me, especially seeing my friend AJ, who is one of those like legends walking through time and space. And you see him spin, and it's like you understand yourself, you understand your body, your mind, like where you are, and
I'm alive.
it flipped my whole world upside down. I started rock climbing and slacklining and juggling and just trying so many new things. And now I spin every fire prop damn near. And boy, is still my baby though. Boy, is definitely still my baby.
Do you wear a certain type of clothing because you got like
Yeah.
fire on the end of a
Non-synthetic
rope or
materials.
something?
They make synthetic materials that are designed to not burn. Like Kevlar, for example, is a polymer of plastic. It's just woven in such a way molecularly that it's not going to burn. But oftentimes it's going to be cotton-based, hemp-based, otherwise. And
Oh.
like, you don't want anything that's going to have like plastic.
Oh, like a
in it.
polyester. That will
Polyester,
catch
it'll
like
melt,
really fast
immediately,
on your
like-
skin.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh,
You
that's
have to
not
get it, like
good.
surgically removed. It's nasty.
It's not good.
Oof.
Yeah. I had a friend whose waistband melted into their pants caught on fire, and they were perfectly fine, but they were that thin hippie material, so they went up like that,
Mhm.
and then his
Ah.
freaking this part caught on fire, and it got stuck into his fucking hip. Like,
So there's an elastic band in there, maybe.
yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
That's what we were joking about. The only time Bagel gets a haircut is when the fire gets too close.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
Can I share a little bit about my journey into flow and
Please,
fire?
please.
Do it.
So for me, flow is meditation in movement. It's one of the only times where I can get my brain to shut down or slow down or
Yoga.
really like get into the present. And throughout my entire life, I had always been exploring an interpersonal relationship with each of the elements: air, water, earth, fire, spirit. And that was something that was really important to me. So when I came across for my first time watching people spin fire, I was immediately lit up by the idea of having this very beautiful and delicate personal friendship with an element that was often seen as dangerous and destructive. And while it can be dangerous and destructive, it is also such a life-bringing
Mhm.
element.
Purifying.
And it is purifying
Cleansing, yeah.
and cleansing, and it is a way for a lot of release to happen. And there's something that I really like. There's an expression, all magic comes with a price. And that's something that I feel is particularly true with fire spinning and fire eating, because you have this wonderful magic that you get to participate in, and in exchange, you get burned. And I think there's something kind of beautiful about that lovely little tit for tat of putting yourself into an experience where you are aware that you are going to get hurt, but it is worth it anyways. And I find that to be like one of the purest expressions of love that I get to.
Isn't that life?
Hurt.
Yes.
We just lay back down on the operating table,
Hurt.
even knowing the statistics. It's like
Sounds like suffering.
50% of marriages end in divorce. You know, like
Can
90% of relationships end before the time
Right.
of the 30s. So it's like, why do we still jump back in? Because getting
Because
hurt
it's worth it.
is so worth it.
It's the same side. Suffering and love are the same side of the
Pain and
coin.
pleasure are the same thing, man.
So
Yes,
all
suffering,
that's
so-
called- was it flow art?
Flow
Flow
arts.
arts, yeah.
Flow arts. Yeah.
Getting
Sorry.
into the flow state, getting into a point
Still
where
thinking about the beginning.
Nirvana.
yeah, nirvana.
So when we get hurt or we are hurt, that causes suffering.
It can. I think.
Well, it depends if we transmute
How
that,
you receive it.
you know,
Mhm.
right? It's how
You
we
can-
alchemize or say this pain, whether it's emotional or physical, say, yes, this is causing a pain, and I'm sad and hurt and suffering, or we can say, this is transforming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is sharpening
Pain is
or
healing.
burning away something that isn't necessary, that no longer serves me, sort of thing.
I recently-
Fire is quite the magical, element.
I recently
But
got a
aren't they all?
particularly bad burn, and instead of feeling regret or suffering, the first thing that I felt was grateful
Yeah.
for the situation that had happened, because it could have been worse.
Worse. Yeah.
Could have been worse. That's a good one.
And it was definitely, in my particular situation, a friend almost got injured on their face, and instead I got injured on my hand. And so in that moment, instead of focusing on the suffering or the fact that my hand was hurting, there was just this great moment of gratitude that it wasn't worse, it wasn't my friend's face, it wasn't a big major accident, it's just a burn. And at the end of the day, I think
Yes,
a lot
I
of
have
things-
pain, but.
Yes, I have pain, but and what are all the things
And.
that went right?
Mhm.
And what could this be teaching me?
Counting blessings.
Yeah, for sure. I count them every day.
Bless.
So you run your own fire spinning collective.
Yes, I run
Oh.
Level Up Fire Collective, and we present. Am I allowed to say the name
Online.
Uh,
What word?
You know,
Anywhere you think you should say, you probably
Oh,
probably
okay.
don't have to.
online? Okay, so
family friendly.
Fire and Butt Collective is the name of one of our shows that we do.
I mean,
because
if
we
it's a business name, Fire and Ass Collective. Is totally
Yeah,
fine,
yeah, we do Fire and
I
Ass
think you
Collective.
can say ass until
Which is a
more
combination
times.
of
I've
fire
dropped
and
it.
Yeah.
pole performance.
Drive it home.
And that's really cool. We've performed in Durham. We've performed all around the Triangle, actually.
So it's kind of where your base of operation is.
Yes. So I'm technically located out of Greensboro, but I do most of my work either in the Triangle or in Charlotte. Those tend to be two of the bigger areas.
Small events, big events.
A combination. I've worked corporate events, I've worked weddings, I've worked local gigs, micro festivals, I've worked backyard events.
So how do you advertise? Word of mouth, or do you get out there?
Word of mouth is a lot of it.
Yeah, going to these kinds of events and
Meeting people,
Meeting
talking
people.
about what
Yeah.
I do, showing off my skills, and waiting to see who says, "Oh, I really liked that," and following up with those leads.
Right, and then following up with them.
Yeah, just putting myself out there. I should get a marketing assistant because I'm horrible at that. But again, I'm not one of the red team flow artists that's trying to be rich and famous. I just want to share my joy and love of this art and performance with other people.
if
I
fame
wanna
follows, then so be it. But you know,
Yeah.
like I want to light people up
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, me too.
And however I get there, I get there.
I want to get a drum into every person's hands so they can bring this healing arts practice into their community and family and friends.
I remember the first person who ever put a drum in my hands. It was my choir teacher, Miss Sever, who was also the band director. In
Love
high
you,
school.
Miss Sever.
Love you, Miss Sever. She made me a percussionist for 2 years in high school,
Oh my.
and I got to play bass drum in marching band, which is a huge drum that's circular and sits on your chest. And every
Yeah.
time you hit it, it's just this boom, boom, boom,
Oh, my.
reverberating through your entire body. And it was such a connective experience.
Wow, so you started off with the medicine drum vibration Really?
without even realizing that was what it was.
Yeah.
For me, it was just
Oh.
participating in this group, in this community, in this school spirit. But what I was really doing is I was leading the beats, the bass line
Oh
for
my God.
everybody in my school to get up and get activated too. I was helping light everybody up with this one little drum, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I loved it.
It's actually kind of a big drum.
Yeah, it was a 40-pound drum.
Hard to even imagine.
That's a great experience to have at a younger state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that progress with, well, then you met up with the medicine drum last year.
Yeah. I got to have my first experience with Grandpa at Coracle last year. I had had a particularly eventful and rough night and needed some peace, and
That's how I found you.
yeah, he was closing
Nice
up
to
shop
be
for
found.
the night. Told me I was going to be the last person of the night, and I laid
Come
down.
on in here, young lady.
Yes.
You
I
got to
laid
get
down,
yourself some of this.
Take a
and
break.
I got to receive a gift from one of my spirit guides, a lovely little message, and surrounding it, another person ended up following after me that would have missed it had I not been there, but really needed it too. And it was one of those perfect timeline moments of just like being exactly where you needed to be, so that what needed to happen, not just for yourself, but for the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I
And the
think
full
that's-
awareness of that.
Yeah, and I think that's something music can bring to us a lot. Are moments that pause us in the present and keep us there just a little bit longer than we thought we would have been for those experiences that we didn't know we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we didn't, as a species, have music. I don't think we would be the same type of species
I
without
think-
music. You
I
know
don't think
that?
it could have happened.
Yeah.
I think it can only happen this way.
I truly believe that if we were to not have music, it would be because we didn't have the ability to create or be inspired. Because we are surrounded by
Yeah.
so much music in our natural world.
Well,
For us to
Yeah,
have
true
never
that.
picked
like
up on that.
the patterns of words and speech and communication. I mean, even if going as back as saying like it's like a it's still
Or
that's
backing
music, you know.
further to the birds and the bees and the sounds of the creek and the wind
Sounds,
through the trees,
The crickets and the birds and,
and the
the winds
bullfrogs
and the
and the
bullfrogs.
symphonies that they create.
It's
And,
so much vibration and sound
our-
around us.
and
That's
our
music.
ancestors' voice within us.
Mm.
It's all music.
We are an instrument of the universe. We help sing life's song whenever we on our path.
So learning how to play ourselves.
Learning how to be played.
Playa.
No,
I'm
learning
a
how to-
playa.
Learning how to be played.
Yeah, let the source
As a
energy
learning
play,
how
play
to
you as an
be
instrument.
Becoming
played.
that instrument, you know,
Oh,
an
that's
instrument can play
interesting.
itself.
Learning how to be played.
Do you remember
Ha,
the
ha.
first time that music swept you up and made you feel whole?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. What you were talking about sort of reminded me of like the the tweaker by the speaker type
That's
idea. We get out there to get those vibrations from that live music, that then we can actually feel something. You can't. You're just pretending
As
until
a
you actually
musician-
get that.
It was in movies when I was young, sitting with my family. I've never considered it, but just now I was like, let's see, well, oh shoot, it was movies.
It
You
was-
know, the orchestras in movies and wow.
It was MTV.
Thank you for that. Very cool.
As a kid, yeah, I was sitting there in my living room
TV.
as a really small child,
TV.
in my diaper, watching Evanescence bring me to life. That music video, man, had to be encapsulated. Like the party that's going on with all the masquerade masks and then her on the edge. I was so afraid for her.
Who is that?
Evanescence.
Music person.
How can you
Oh, she's a singer.
into my eyes?
Like open door.
Oh, into me and make me feel.
Oh, I've heard that song now that you
Whatever.
sing it. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
Wake me up inside.
Oh yeah.
I can't
man.
wake up.
But I don't know what it was. I remember feeling. My mom kind of looked like her. She was a goth.
That was a powerful song, man.
Yeah, and I also like. It's funny. My mom looked like her, and then my dad looked like the guy who was rapping. Like the most basic 90s guy with like the spiked
that's
up
funny.
hair and the bleach tips and stuff, and like the baggy jeans and the chain hanging from the pocket.
Did y'all hear on the internet?
That was your
they got
dad?
Songs about the never-ending story.
That song is about the end.
Yeah, the kids movie.
Yeah,
So
never
cool.
ending story. Yeah.
He's,
Atreyu.
Where'd you hear this?
The luck
Snopes.com?
dragon.
He's fighting against the nothingness in that movie.
Against the nothing.
Save me from the nothingness.
Imagination, curiosity.
I'm sure it wasn't written because of that, but it's so similar. The words she uses and the way the song's structured. It's like the never-ending story.
Yeah.
Tangent.
The nothing.
I'm good for that. I'm good for that part of the show.
As a musician, though, I can really, I really started to come to an understand of like the alchemy that happens whenever we receive this current of energy, you know, and the current goes both ways.
Current.
Yes, like a river that
Current goes both ways.
it does. It does.
Universal current.
Because there's no point of reference as to where, like, if you're falling, right, and you have no way of observing something that's going past you, how would you know if you're going up, down, left, right, BA, start? You wouldn't, because it's everything everywhere all at once, right?
BA Select Star.
And so,
No reference.
understanding the movement nature of life, right? Physical is an illusion at the end of the day. Something like
I don't know. Pain's not an illusion.
something about like
It can be transmuted though.
something about like 90-something% of matter is not actually solid, right? And so you start to look at that like rhythm of life, and you realize that even sound is actually movement and rhythm, and it's a matter of how we're perceiving it in the same way that we're perceiving light waves, you know, with our ocular organs. We're
Moving right
perceiving
along.
audio waves with our inner ears, you know, and in that it becomes this beautiful dance. You know, and that's what it means to be a musician, a sound therapist, like
I want to
a
dance.
speech.
Let's dance.
Let's dance.
Let's dance.
Frolic.
Our man, we are rhythm moving machines,
We're
Yes.
facilitators. We're antennas.
Everything's vibration.
right?
We're antennas.
I mean, if we're not moving, we're still moving. But especially at my age, and well on into my 60s, if I sit too long, man, I feel it. If I move too much, I really feel that.
You're
So
still moving.
I've got to
when
be
you're gone as you
very
decompose.
careful to have a really good balance of movement and non-movement, or my body will tell me all about that.
That's relatable. I have a degenerative joint disease, which makes it so if I sit still, it hurts. If I stand still, it hurts. If I move too much, it hurts. And so it's this very delicate balancing
wow.
act of just trying to make sure that.
What parts of your body
Yeah.
is that in?
So it affects all of my joints. Basically, the protein that builds up your ligaments and joints, my body doesn't produce it, so my muscles have to do all the work to hold my skeletal system together.
Wow.
That doesn't sound like a really great longevity
Like a
No, it's
issue.
particularly bad. Like lose my ability to move sooner rather than later, and that's
So
part
there's
of
no
why-
reversing or at least stabilizing
No.
that at the moment as far
No.
as medicine.
No, right now your options are coping
Beta
mechanisms.
blockers.
So physical therapy and drugs for pain are currently like the options for
Right.
management. But this is actually particularly why my relationship with movement is so important to me, because everybody's relationship with movement is limited. There is a time when your body is going to tell you to stop.
Mm.
For some of us, that comes sooner rather than later. And so for me, it's been particularly important to make the most of the time where I have the ability to move in the way that I have the ability to do it, because I know that it's limited.
See, this is the craziest thing, because I'm 67 and I'm projecting a lot more years just based
Yeah,
on
you're
my
pretty-
past.
You're strong and healthy.
I got, this was handed to me is
Yeah.
good health.
Blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, blessings. So I can see myself being another 60 years with no healthy. But now you're saying this in that, this perspective of, wow, she doesn't have as long as I have. And so I'm like, oh, now I'm thinking, well, that's sad. But then I'm thinking, well, everybody has their life to live and their stuff to deal with and their transformations and revelations to go through.
It's
It's wild,
to
man.
think about, but it's going back to like choosing to suffer. I can focus on the fact of like everything that I'm going to lose, or I can focus on everything that I'm going to learn when I have nothing but time and stillness. That's what a lot of meditation is.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Don't just sit there. Do something. Don't just do something. Sit there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of time left on this planet. Been here a while.
yeah.
And I'm projecting I'll have a while, but not really. I really don't have a lot more time because here I am already 67 and my life past is just like it was just yesterday. And I just don't have the time to be wasting in pity or self-pity
Yeah.
or
Got time for that.
victim or they did this to me, this sort of thing anymore. I've been fortunate to be engaging with people who are curious and interested about improving their lives, I guess, so to speak, and being present in the moment.
Healing and growth.
So I don't have time really in my life for anything really less or more than that. Is where are you at right now? What's going on with you? Really, can I help in some way mitigate that with you? For mutual benefit.
For mutual benefit.
And other than that, it's honing my skills on doing that, being of service.
I think the most important thing that anybody can do is just be present and authentic when you engage with somebody in the moment, because you never know how much time that person has left to engage in that capacity.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that like I really love is when the people around me stay present when we're engaging. Whether that be just like not picking up your phone or staying in conversation or getting up to dance with me when we hear a song that we both like. Just staying really present in the moment, because it's all we're guaranteed, and I can't sit and lament what I might not have or what I have now.
That's a childlike nature.
A little bit. I think it's important to hold on
But
to.
we
some
got to be
of that.
responsible for ourselves and our being, and
Yeah.
there's a lot to do in survival too.
Yeah. Survival mode has a lot to do with it, and I think I spend a lot of my time, my like day-to-day life in survival mode and trying to deal with that.
Yeah, we all do for sure. We have this
Yeah.
body, man. Oh my gosh.
If you don't do it, who will?
Even healthy.
Taking care of
It's
a body
lot-
is hard. It's
taking
a lot
care
of
of a
work.
body is a big,
It's a it's a
huge. I
big
need
job.
food and rest. That's a huge part right there.
And don't forget having to go to the bathroom multiple times a day. You can't just consume things. You have to get rid of them too in this endless cycle.
But then we have this whole other thing going on, which is this urge towards improvement, towards spirit,
Yeah.
towards this
We were talking about
other
this earlier. Yeah.
thing going on, which is wanting our attention on a lower level, but still they're saying, you can improve,
Who's got time
you
for
can
all
do
that?
better.
I think it's kind of like being a tree where it's like we're constantly growing, constantly pursuing that more fullness of self.
We are just complicated houseplants.
Potentials. We're aware of potentials.
Yeah, I think that's almost kind of what gets in our way. Sometimes I think we look at ourselves in the form of potential rather than what we are. And we look at what we are as a projection of what our potential is. rather than understanding that, like, just like an oak seed, we are born with everything that we need inside of us to be the fullest, beautifulest tree that we're going to be. And all we have to do is allow ourselves to grow and be open to that growth.
Well, like a seed has a lot of potential.
It does. But
So
it's
there was
not
talking about
focused
two
on-
different types of potentials.
Yeah.
But the seed
Our
can
survival
grow.
potential and then our creative potential is kind of
Mm.
how I heard that.
The seed's potential goes to waste without the collective, though.
Okay.
It can't facilitate its own. You know, it has to be picked up by a squirrel.
social creature
and
as well.
Moved on to another
Yeah.
space, and then planted and water, and then soil, and there's all these friends that are coming together, bringing their gifts to the table, and
Takes a village.
the collective
Well,
survives.
it's an island.
The individual is not, especially in nature. We look at how that reflects, and it's very rare that the individual itself
Nature.
is the thing that's like succeeding in the whole process. It's
Are
like-
you nature?
Of course.
Are you never not nature?
No.
What about organic? Inorganic. Is there such a thing as inorganic? Because I've heard that term.
I don't think it's possible.
People relating to something as an inorganic substance. Yeah, like,
Yeah, but just because something's organic doesn't mean it's good for you.
I mean, is there such a thing as
Well,
inorganic?
plastic don't grow.
Yeah, no, but
Plastic's
Define
not-
organic.
Oh,
Plastic's not
that's
alive.
interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
are we talking about something like
Yeah.
organic being something that came from
Plastic
the earth
don't
versus
have a
something
soul.
inorganic being something that was man-made or created from a combination
well, no,
of
that's
things?
what he's trying to explain.
Yeah.
is He's like, even if it was made by man in that definition of inorganic, it is still technically organic because everything that was used to make it is organic. It's just from there is no
Right.
inorganic matter.
Yeah.
It's all organic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, like on a social sense, yes, there are definitely things that we identify to be inorganic,
Mhm.
but
Right.
the actuality of something is like it all comes from mama, it all comes from papa,
And it goes back.
Yeah.
and it goes back.
None of
I
it's
think-
off planet.
The inorganicness comes from the
It's all from here.
alchemical aspect of it. When you take something and you change its very chemical composition from what it started as, I think that's where
Alchemy.
That's the little.
that's where inorganicness might
That's
start
oh,
in people's
yeah.
mind.
So when it loses
I would
its
agree
soul,
with that.
It loses
Yeah,
its soul
it's-
energy.
But that's like from the opposite.
Boy, that's everything.
That's from the
What
observation.
about
that
air going into our
humans-
lungs?
Well, so
That's changed.
Yeah.
it is changed, and then what we breathe out. But what we breathe out is also a natural element. I think when it comes to like things that are inorganic, if we can find it out as it is, it would be an organic chemical. If we need to create or change its composition, its material structure in order to make it something else,
Oh.
we've then made something. And while the process of making it is organic
Fascinating.
because we're organic people using organic substances, what we have done has changed it to make it to where it cannot be found in nature. We've created something entirely new.
At least to what we know.
To what
I
we know
think
of.
that it's a little-
What about water has 3 stages of...
All of which can be found in nature.
True.
It's got four now.
4 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's solid, liquid,
Plasma.
gas, and plasma.
Mm-hmm.
Plasma?
And there's a plasma level to it.
What is that?
Now there is. There
That-
used to be.
Yeah, there was. It
Plasma,
just wasn't observable. That's my point. Is like if we're not able to,
Plasma.
as
Yeah.
humans,
What is that,
observe
like
these-
jelly? Plasma?
I
It's
can't
like
remember.
lightning.
Like lightning?
Yeah, lightning is considered plasma.
Oh,
Water has a plasma state.
so does blood.
What is it
Oh,
like?
I guess
so
that's
like
a
the
liquid, yeah.
the water in the fruits and vegetables are in a different state than just solid.
Acid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Solid liquid gas. It's in a plasma state.
Okay, well, microscopes changed everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's my point.
And will continue. Well, at least our knowledge
Yeah.
is what I mean.
Well, science isn't the process of being right. It's about continually getting less wrong. And I think when you look at the world of like, yes, this is how things are.
This
that's
is less
very
wrong.
silly. It's very silly. We should look at the world with an understanding of this is the best that we can understand,
For
and
now.
not this is how it is. Because we're never gonna know what we don't know.
Who knows?
We don't know nothing.
I know nothing. I'm yes to everything.
How do you know you don't know it if you don't know it, that you don't know it, you know?
You know?
I
When you know.
So people in the past, they were as smart as they thought they would ever be, you know?
Mhm.
Because that was all they had, and now...
Well, I mean, we used to know
We got a
that
microscope.
the sun
Now
revolved
we
around
got a
the
microscope.
Earth. You know, we used to know that the world was flat. We used to know all of these things.
Yeah.
The
That electron
observable.
microscope changed the game in my mind. I see a lot.
Everybody knows the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but oh no, many people had to die for that statement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
Let me explain this to you.
There's no Sky Daddy. Now you die.
We're going to move into a few minutes of drum journey. And so we'll be back to the discussion in a few minutes. So grab your journey blanket and pillow if you have that handy. Push away from your computer desk or set down your tools and just take a break for a few minutes and feel this rhythm. Float downstream. It's my favorite. Right now. There we go. Floating downstream. Legends from the Painted Cave. Thank you for joining us today. Got a few more minutes here. Long, deep breaths when you're ready. One or two of them feels
Almost
real
fell
good. We're here in the studio with hiccups.
And find us on Facebook, Instagram, Legends from the Painted Cave. Send us an email at Gmail, Legends from the Painted Cave.
And Jamin Bagel, good to see you again.
J-Man.
Howdy doody.
And Creature.
Hello.
Creature.
We met for a moment last Coracle, which is good this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
It's a regional burn.
After-
Burning Man.
After she left last night, you said that you do remember. You remembered. It all came back.
Yep, all came
I
back.
remember meeting you.
Hiccups. They, them.
Yep, that was pretty cool. I love when that
Nice.
happens.
They, them.
Oh, sorry.
Love when that happens. It's like,
Me
this
too.
is familiar. And then, oh, there's the memory.
No, I walked up and I saw you and I was like, this is a man with very familiar energy.
Yeah, grandpa is everybody's grandpa.
Pretty fun.
The
Pretty
chicken in the
fun.
woods.
Yeah, it's funny how drums just kind of enter our life. Yours was with your, elementary school?
It was actually high school.
High school?
Yeah,
Said,
high school marching band.
were you in a band class or something?
No, I was actually in choir class, but all the percussionists, we had a school walkthrough, which is basically where the percussionist of band would lead one of the sports teams that had made it to like regionals or nationals through the entire school in like a celebration. All of the percussionists were sick that day. None of them had come to school. So my band director took the
Whoa,
kids in her choir class.
the clouds parted.
Yes. So band director asked the kids in her choir class, does anybody want to learn how to play the drums? And my hand shot
I
up.
couldn't even help it.
Couldn't even help it. I was like, yes, I want to learn how to play the drums. And then immediately afterwards, she was like, you've got a real talent for this.
my
You're signing
gosh.
up for marching band next year. And it wasn't a question.
I had an experience with that with a young friend of mine now. It was his first festival, his first plant alteration experience, his first shamanic drumming. And I asked, anybody want to help drum? And his arm shot up. And he kind of looked like he didn't mean for that to happen. And those are special moments.
They really are.
Yeah, I went to go ask you if you needed help drumming right as you were about to ask me if I wanted to drum with you. Very serendipitous.
Yeah, when we first
Very first time
met
we
up,
recorded,
yeah.
Hannah was missing, and so I was around, and I looked at you, and you had a big ass group, and you.
we have a synchronicity like that. I've
Hannah was
noticed
always missing.
through the years.
You like I remember one time I was like about to ask you for a lighter, and then I looked over to my left, and you were already out the window of your car with a lighter.
Heading your way.
Yeah. Or I'll ask you to, like, in my mind, drum for me a specific place. I'll be laying down. Like last night, I was like, touch the drum from my back, and then 2 seconds later, you did it. You know, no spoken word. It was just like.
I have this experience with you. I don't think I ever mentioned, but a lot of times you'll call me, and I'll be right in the middle of something that requires my whole attention, and you'll call. I'm like, of course it's Bagel calling. And I'm not sure what to think of that, but it happens consistently.
You're a
Like,
side
that is
tracker.
fascinating. When my mind is like clear, nope, here
Bagel.
comes that's like a signal. Bagel, call me. It's fascinating. It's one of those things, that happen.
Keeping you in check.
Universal
Yeah.
synchronicities.
Yeah.
Trey mentioned that the other day, and I've had other people say it's like they won't think about me for a while, and then it's like that day, and then I call that day, and that was the day that I popped back in their head. And I'm like, so it's like they manifested me.
How do we harness that? Because
I
that's a
haven't
thing.
I haven't been able to
Practicing
use
with your
any of the
intuition.
psychic
Don't
stuff.
we want to control? Don't we?
Or doesn't really have to be control, but harness as a tool. Well, I guess that would be control. Yeah.
The only way I've
Raise
found.
your hand.
Her arm went up. Oh
Teacher,
my.
May
Well, we were
I
just talking
talk?
about that school stuff, weren't we?
May I talk, please?
Yeah. So the only way
Good.
I found to help harness more of those intuitive connective powers is by trusting the intuitions that I get
Yeah.
and learning.
Saying, oh,
what-
that's what this is.
Yes, learning distinctly what the feeling of intuition is versus thoughts.
Being very observant of that.
Yes, yes, because we can think our way into anything, but intuition is a different feeling, and so the more I
Right.
acknowledge where my intuition has served me and examine how that feeling felt when I had that metaphor thought that I might have ignored or I might have followed.
Metaphor thought.
Yeah,
Good one.
and that's the only way I've found to bring more of those kind of intuitive understandings into my life is just by paying attention to the
Now
ones
wait,
that already
something a
happened.
little different about this moment. What is
Yeah.
that? I mean, it's that kind of thinking.
Yeah, it's
That kind of a pause.
it's like for me, I'll get a thought and I'm just like I'm very particular about not telling myself I should or shouldn't do something.
That's a good start.
Don't be shut up on.
But
That's a good start.
when I have moments where I'll just get a random thought, you should or you shouldn't, I start paying attention to those because I've removed it from my vocabulary. So when I have it thrown at me, more often than not for me, it's a sign that my intuition is coming from, from the future back to the present, being like, hey, here's your little warning sign.
Pay attention.
Exactly. And it can be with silly little things like dropping something, spilling something, just having a moment of, you should move that back from the corner. And if I ignore it, without fail, my cup spills. But if I don't, I avoid the mess. So that's just something that's helped me, is just like going back and examining all of the times where I had a thought that ended up being right and it felt differently than just like anxious spirals or just like regular thinking, And the more I pay attention to that, the more the universe likes to bring it to me.
It's your way of the law of attraction.
Yes. Well, I think where your attention goes, your energy flows. So
I
the
just said
more
that this morning.
You pay attention.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just said it this morning too.
The more you pay attention to things, the more you're going to find them. So if you pay attention to your intuition, your subconscious is going to understand, oh, hey, I'm looking for more of that. And it's going to give you more of that.
We are habit creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn a lot by
As they take a drink of Dr. Pepper.
imitation is a big, at least primarily when we're young.
Well, still when we're big, too, we have mirror neurons in our brain, and their entire job is to look at what's happening around us and match the energy that's happening around us
It's our
because we
attachment
are
style, yeah.
social creatures.
100%.
Mirror neurons. Yeah, that's a
Neurons
new
in
one
the
that's
brain.
come up in the neurology science people, something like that.
New to neurology, and it basically explains why we yawn when other people yawn, and we laugh when other people laugh, and we smile when our crush smiles.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a fun, cute little thing to witness, and when you start watching
Curiosity.
people mirror body language or mirror patterns or mechanisms, you can just see all of our little mirror neurons going off, paying attention to the people around us and helping us to develop a better sense of community.
Yeah. It's kind of when life starts to get kind of fun.
Yes.
We notice these little connectivities between ourselves because we're really good at disconnecting and disassociating, saying, and being sad and lonely. And then we can start noticing, oh no, this is what brings us together.
WCOM, FM, LP. This has been Legends from the Painted Cave.
Be love.
Carborough, Chapel Hill.
One drum,
Those are the
one heart.
one drum, one heart. So nice to have you on the show, Creature.
Thanks for having
You're
me.
an
It's
intelligent
been a
and
pleasure.
lovely person.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to talk to you some more. And Bagel, very good to have you as always. Hiccups,
I'm back.
welcome to Planet Earth once again. Legends from the Painted Cave, WCOM FM LP, Carborough, Chapel Hill, signing off.
I am
Bye
resilient.
bye.
I trust the movement. I negate the chaos. Uplift the
Get up and start cleaning up so he knows to wrap it up.
I kept on giving him like 5 minutes, 1 minute. And then you guys were starting to get into another conversation.
Time to wrap
And
it
so
up.
I was
B.
like, WCOM, FM,
For the
LP,
love of
Chapel
radio and
Barbara.
sound. My name is
Gabe,
Jennifer Waits.
thank you.
Hello, everybody. On this
Hit him with the
episode,
radio
we're
voice.
taking a trip back to
The radio voice.
Welcome to.
That was fun.
famous
Yeah.
computer
Anytime, if you wanna come back on,
cafe
please.
launched over
Yeah,
in
love to have you.
California.
Nice.
Focusing on home computers.
Do you have like a
computer
single
news,
napkin or
and
tissue or
so
There's some
something?
kind of
much
cleaning
more.
wipes over there.
The program
There you
had a
go.
fascinating roster of guests.
That's what I wanted
The
done,
likes of
too.
Timothy Leary, Donny Osmond,
Oh.
and Bill
Oh,
Gates,
Timmy.
among
And Donny Osmond?
It's
How's
estimated
that
that
for a
all the recordings of
pair?
the show
It's
were
smaller.
lost, but
What happened to
recently
it?
53 episodes
Uh,
have
shrunk.
been digitized.
I guess my head's shrunk.
Computer historian
Thank-
No, I
Louis
think
K.
it was the
Savitz spearheaded this project
all the weathering.
and appears on Radio Survivor
Weathering.
alongside one
I
of the
didn't get
creators and hosts
Sure, I
of
missed
this
it. Sure, I missed
computer
one.
cafe.
I think we're good. I think we're all.
Thanks so much to both
all
of you for
right
joining us
for
today.
where
Yes,
you're
I
supposed
did.
to be.
My pleasure.
So I thought we'd start with you, Alan, and tell us
Oh
what was
my
the famous
gosh,
computer cafe.
I
Reading about
really
it,
need to
it
use the
seems like it took
restroom.
on a bunch
And
of
I don't
different
need to
versions.
rest.
It was on a number
We'll be
of
outside
radio
smoking a sweat.
stations,
We're not
different
finished yet.
formats.
Oh my gosh.
There were interviews.
My bladder is very mad at me right now.
So break it all down.
We'll be right outside.